Welcome, everyone. Welcome to MMVC 25 and our final day of this 3-day event. Our presenter is coming to us from the United States, and that's Amber Smith. She's the founder and executive director of Evolving in Education, which is a nonprofit dedicated to uplifting and transforming public education. She has a diverse background spanning from aviation, diving, welding, and psychology studies. Amber leads initiatives focused on innovation, equity, and community impact. At MMVC 25, she will present on the development of Evolving in Education's new Educator Enhancement Program, a purpose-built LMS supporting holistic, adaptable professional learning. So thank you for joining us, Amber. It's really a pleasure, and thank you everyone for being here. The floor is all yours.
Thank you.
If you want to tell us any more about you and about aviation and any of the other wonderful things that you do, please feel free to do so.
Thank you. I'll give a little more background. Thank you so much for the opportunity to speak, Dr. Nelly, and thank you to all the participants. I'd also like to thank the Renaissance Hotels, former Shoals Marriott Hotel and Spa, for giving me the Helen Keller boardroom to present in today. I don't have stable internet and I have screaming twins at home, so it's quite appreciated. So this presentation is called is a movement born of urgency and guided by hope. My name is Amber Smith, and I'm the founder and executive director of Evolving in Education. I started EIE about 3 years ago. We started as a Facebook Messenger group born out of the urgency for accessible, enriching education. We then became a Facebook page. Then we became a nonprofit in June of 2023. Since then, we have led focus groups, seminars, global initiatives, forums, online education communities, and we're working on the development of an open access online platform. So here is a little bit of what we'll be going through today. This isn't totally comprehensive, so I won't spend too long on this. And I'd like to start us off with the quote by William Butler Yeats. I know it's been debated on who originally said this, but education is not the filling of a pail, but the lighting of a fire. So here's a short video, Reimagining Education, the EIE approach. Please stop me if there's any problems with the audio.
Have you ever wondered whether the traditional education system is adequately preparing our young minds for the future? A future that's evolving at an unprecedented speed. A future that's uncertain, complex and challenging, yet brimming with exciting opportunities. Picture EIE, an organization that was born out of this very concern. EIE stands for Evolving in Education, and it's not just an acronym, it's a vision, a mission, and a firm belief. Imagine a story of a young child named Alex. Alex, like every other child, is full of curiosity, creativity, and potential. Traditional education, however, sees Alex as just another student. They feed him facts, they test his memory, and they judge his worth based on his grades. EIE, on the other hand, sees Alex differently. They see his potential, his creativity, and his unique talents. They don't just want to teach him facts. They want to nurture his curiosity, foster his creativity, and empower him to realize his full potential. In the EIE story, Alex isn't just a passive recipient of information. He's an active participant in his own learning journey. He isn't just memorizing facts for a test. He's solving real-world problems. He's collaborating with his peers, and he's communicating his ideas with confidence. The story doesn't end with Alex. It extends to his teachers too. In the EIE vision, teachers aren't just instructors. They're mentors, guides, and facilitators. They're not just delivering a curriculum. They're nurturing a learning environment that fosters creativity, critical thinking, and collaboration. Now, imagine a world where every child is like Alex, a world where every teacher is an EIE mentor, a world where education isn't just about passing exams, but about nurturing young minds to thrive in a rapidly changing world. This is the vision of EIE. It's a vision of an education system that's innovative, empowering, and future-oriented. It's a vision that recognizes the inherent potential in every child and every teacher. So, dear educators, the call to action is clear. The future of education is here, and it's time to embrace it. It's time to reimagine education, not just as a means to a job, but as a means to empower our future generations. It's time to transform the way we teach, learn, and inspire. Because when we do, we're not just preparing our students for the jobs of tomorrow, we're preparing them for a future that's brighter, better, and more promising. So let's embrace innovation, let's reimagine education, and let's make the EIE vision a reality.
All right. Yo. Sure, we're still presenting.
Have you ever wondered whether the tradition...
All right. Are you guys still able to see this in present mode? I will take that as a yes. All right, so designing the future of instructional technology for educators, personalized support, seamless integration, and teacher-driven innovation. In the face of educational challenges, we find strength and hope. As mother of twins, I experienced firsthand the constraints of educational systems that often overlooks the unique needs of every child. This presentation reveals the urgency that drives us towards change while highlighting the collective hope we possess to redefine education for the betterment of future generations. A world unfit for all children. In today's world, 44% of teachers are considering leaving the profession, and 1 in 3 students report struggling with mental health. These statistics reveal a troubling reality. Our education system is in crisis. This urgent situation calls us to act, to challenge the status quo, and to build a better future for our children. The flame of urgency. The time to act is now. Our education is leaving too many behind. The collective voice of parents, educators, and students is rising, demanding that we transform our educational landscape into one that is inclusive, equitable, and responsive to every child's needs. Together, we can turn urgency into action. A collaborative path forward. So transforming education requires collaboration among all stakeholders. Together, we can co-create solutions that address systemic issues affecting our schools. By fostering open communication, shared responsibility, and a commitment to equity, we can build a future where every child receives the education that they deserve. As part of our long-term vision to support teachers with meaningful, easy-to-use instructional technology, we're building a centralized educator platform for EdTech and instructional strategies and resources. Right now, we're starting with a self-check survey to better understand educators' instructional needs when it comes to the technology integration. Things like differentiation, accessibility, blended learning, and classroom management. This survey is a foundational step. It helps us identify which tech tools and strategies educators are actually looking for support with, so we can curate and deliver the most relevant resources to you, to the educators. Eventually, educators will be able to instantly see their personalized recommendations in the browser after submitting the survey, and even access them directly through the LMS. But for now, we're still in the process of mapping needs to resources. So we'll be sharing a couple example tools to show what this support could look like. Consider this a test run. We're building it with your feedback in mind, with educators' feedback in mind, so that when the platform goes live, it truly reflects the needs, schedules, and the instructional goals of today's educators. So now it's demo time, everyone. As we move forward with more personalized tech-supported instruction, it's critical that we understand educators' real day-to-day instructional needs. That's why we're starting with a quick technology needs self-survey or self-check assessment. Responses will help us pinpoint exactly where support is needed, whether it's for differentiated instruction, accessibility, blended learning, or something else. In return, educators will receive tailored resources to use in their classroom. After completing the self-check survey, educators will receive a personalized email with curated tools and how-to guides aligned with their instructional needs. This ensures the support provided is relevant to their grade level, focus area, and their comfort with technology. In the survey, we're also asking educators how they prefer to receive these resources, whether through a curated list, a set of LMS linked categories, or both. This feedback will guide how we deliver support moving forward. While we don't yet have a real-time results screen ready for this conference, the goal is that educators will eventually see their personalized recommendations immediately in the browser after submission and later directly inside the LMS dashboard. That way, educators will be able to access and apply instructional tools without having to leave their course or learning environment. Now, let's take a look at a couple of tools that might be recommended through this platform. Seesaw is a great example of how technology can support differentiated instruction and student reflection, and especially in the early grades. One thing about Seesaw is it does count, and we are focused on making this free or extremely low cost, but this is just one of the examples we chose to use. So this Mood Monster activity allows young learners to reflect on and express their emotions using multiple modalities, voice, visuals, and drawings, making it an ideal tech-supported solution for pre-K through first grade classrooms, especially in inclusive settings. By embedding tools like Seesaw, or in a moment we'll touch on Kialo, which we learned of Friday, which was a very impressive, awesome platform that they're building there, that they've built. By embedding these tools into your broader LMS strategy, you're not just managing learning, you're making it more accessible, more engaging, and more personalized for every student. So this was just a little walkthrough of what it looks like from the student perspective and how you could launch an activity like this directly through your LMS. So here's another recommendation, and I thank Dr. Sam for sharing this with us on Friday, and I thank Dr. Nelly for allowing us all the opportunity to share. So another tool that might be integrated would be Kialo. It's a great example of how technology can support differentiated instruction and student reflection. It's a free ed tech platform designed for classrooms to foster critical thinking through structured text-based debates. Some key features, I know Dr. Sam touched on this, but I'll just quickly. Visual argument maps with pro, con trees simplify complex topics. Anonymous mode encourages inclusive participation. They have 300 plus ready to use discussion topics tailored to various subjects. And grading tools track student contributions and progress. And I hope I got all this right. I put this together pretty quickly last night. So some benefits of the Kialo: it supports differentiated instruction with adjustable discussion complexity, promotes reflection through collaboration, evidence-based arguments, it engages diverse learners, a 3 to 5 time participation boost in studies. Accessibility and privacy, it is free forever and GDPR FERPA compliant with no ads. Very great platform, which can be integrated into the LMS. Excuse me. So here's a roadmap of our development. All right, so we'll start by gathering educator needs through the integration self-checklist, which we've already been through. And we will categorize needs by instructional area and tech tool alignment. Step 3 will be resource curation. We don't seek to reinvent the wheel. We seek to stand on the shoulders of giants. And there's already so much great resources, platforms out there. We just need to stop working in silos and to everybody kind of get together on this and give it our all for the kids. So step 4 will be the delivery via email, which is coming soon. Educators, once they've completed the survey, will receive a curated resource list matched to survey responses. Step 5, we'll roll out the pilot. We'll launch a small-scale LMS pilot with a test group before full integration. Step 6, the LMS platform rollout. We'll launch the platform to a small group of educators. And step 7 will be instant access to personalized text supported directly within the LMS. And we're still exploring all platforms, all technologies. We're very much open to feedback from all of you guys on any insights you might have. And like I said, this is all still very fluid. And so here we go. Since we are a visionary organization, and I know this doesn't fit exactly with the presentation, but this is something that I recently had a vision for, and I'd like to share it with y'all. And again, I'll be sharing this presentation in case anyone would like a deeper look, or feel free to contact me directly. So a vision for the future, which EIE is hopeful to pioneer, would be a global neuromesh and curio mesh pilot project. This is a comprehensive outline for action and development from evolving in education. A vision to create an ethical, decentralized global learning network powered by low power, edge AI neuromorphic modes, bridging the digital divide while protecting human agency and sovereignty. This pilot will deploy global neuromesh infrastructure with the moral intelligence layer, curio mesh, to serve as a scalable model for education in underserved regions and disaster resilient communities. So I won't read through all of this. I'll leave it open for a moment so you guys can look at it. But basically, it is a self-healing, runs on ambient energy, solar, RF, different types of energy. Here we go. Neuromorphic modes, energy efficient computation, ambient power, solar, RF, energy harvesting, self-healing, decentralized mesh. And again, this is still just in the vision phase. This isn't something we've actually started undertaking. I just wanted to share it for y'all's feedback. And I think it's very exciting and worth exploring. So overview is a vision for decentralized energy efficient AI learning network designed to deliver educational tools to underserved areas without relying on traditional internet or power infrastructure. The purpose is that many communities lack consistent internet, electricity, or educational resources. These ambient energy powered systems and offline adaptive AI models deliver the content. A decentralized mesh network enables resilience and local access. So how it works, these small ambient power nodes are installed in rural schools. Students and teachers use local devices to access AI-driven educational tools, and the nodes, when possible, update content and AI models. Our next steps are collaboration, pilot, and measure results and make iterative improvements. And the Curio Mesh facilitation guide for ethical dialogue. That's something deeper that, again, if anyone would like to learn more, they can contact me and I will be sharing this presentation. So here are some of our partners and sponsors that we are very honored to have. Among them, we have Google, Walmart, Dr. Heidi, U.S. Space and Rocket Center, Marriott Shoals, now Renaissance Hotels. We are partnered with Lockwell Security. We're proud to say that we're now NIST compliant. Also with the YMCA, Little Neurons, that's our head neuroscientist. She's simplifying brain research to help children reach their fullest developmental potential. Evolving Education, they research some of the most innovative learning environments in the world, and they do a 3-month teacher training course called the learning expedition, I believe. I'm sorry, I forgot it. I did it at the beginning of last year. It was a wonderful 3-month teacher training course, which is actually done through an LMS, which gave me a lot of insight into how LMSs work and the things that the strengths and the sort of the weaknesses. So we're excited to partner with them. So a concluding reflection would be, as we reflect on our journey, let us remember that change begins with us. By embracing our stories, acknowledging our challenges, and envisioning a brighter future, we have the power to revolutionize education. Together, we can create a brighter world where every child can succeed, thrive, and be celebrated for their unique gifts and potentials. So I invite you to join us in transforming public education. Get involved, support our mission, stay connected. We're on all the social media. You can join our focus groups. We've held over 40 focus groups, global, with educators, administrators, community leaders, experts, parents. And you can contact us. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to leave that email up there. And so I'd like to leave y'all with this. Remember, everyone, the future is not something we passively enter into. It is something that we actively create. So I thank you all very much, and I invite any questions.
Love that. Love that. Thank you. Thank you so
Dr.
much. And of course, I wish you all the best. And if you're interested in learning about another LMS, Moodle, you're invited to join the conference area, as well as maybe one of my free courses.
Awesome. I believe I signed up for one yesterday, and
Oh, you did?
Yes, I'll be glad to look
Great.
more into that soon.
I
Thank
haven't
you,
checked
Dr.
my
Miller.
email for 3 days, so okay, wonderful.
That's understandable. You've been quite busy.
So questions, I'm sure there are a lot of questions. So feel free to write them in the chat box, or I can even let you, let me unmute, so you can unmute yourselves and ask.
Shall I stop sharing, Dr. Nelly?
No, I think it's a good idea to have that, in case anyone wants to. Yeah, it's good to have in the background, in case they're still getting the photos.
And are you able to see? I didn't mean to bring up the meeting chat if that's in your way.
Nothing is in my way.
All right. If you don't mind reading any questions off, appreciate it.
I don't see any questions or comment. Well, I see comments. Yeah, Seesaw. Can you maybe Anna? I think you would love Seesaw. Can you tell us a little bit about Seesaw for Anna and the others who might be interested? Because I know it's an amazing program.
Yes, so I am not extremely familiar with Seesaw. It was just used as an example, but I will tell you what I know about it. It functions both as a digital portfolio and a student engagement tool. While it can stand alone, Seesaw can also be integrated or linked within your school's LMS to streamline access for both students and families. This mood monster activity allows young learners to reflect on and express their emotions using multiple modalities, voice, visual, and drawing, making it an ideal tech-supported solution, especially in inclusive settings. By embedding tools like Seesaw into your broader LMS, I believe I might have already went over this, I apologize, you're not just managing learning, you're making it more accessible, more engaging, and more personalized for every learner. If you'd like, I could go back to the slide. I think that there's a link that I could click on to show you more about Seesaw if you guys would like.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
There's a question here about special education from Iman. Does your initiative involve special education for differentiation?
Yes. Within the list, we have an option of providing tech-based accommodations for IEP/504 students. We aim to be as inclusive as possible. And I'm not sure exactly what all this looks like. You know, I'm kind of just the visionary. I'll be the first to admit that I don't know everything, but I'm really glad to have a team of experts that do know quite a lot, and I rely heavily upon them. And for any questions, I'm happy to get with the team of experts and get back to you on that. I can share this link in the chat if it's helpful.
Yes, thank you.
There's that. I'll also share the link to the presentation in the chat.
Did you mention in this presentation how you got involved in this? Except you did mention twins, your twins, but
yes, I'll give you a little bit more backstory.
Yeah, I
so,
think that would help.
So I dropped out of homeschool at a young age and then chose a rocky path. I didn't get on the right path. I sort of was a rebellious young child, but then I got my GED. I pursued courses in welding, psychology, a little bit of CAD, a little bit of computer science. Then I ran away with the circus for 7.5 years. And then
Circus, did you say?
Yes, a traveling family circus. The sardine family.
What did you do in the circus?
I was actually dating one of the sons.
Oh, okay.
He rode a 10-foot unicycle and juggled on it, but I went to circus school and I learned slack rope. I furthered my knowledge of acrobatics, banking, all kinds of stuff. And I was also a plant in the audience, or a shill. They'd pull me out and we'd do a skit. I also performed with them several times. I rode unicycle, juggled, all that. And so I came home from the circus 7.5 years later, and I got my private pilot license. And then I started a career in underwater construction, demolition, and underwater bridge inspection.
How did you go from the sky to the water?
Up and down. So my path into education has been very unconventional. Fast forward to 2019, I had twin daughters, and then I actually started a career in environmental cave conservation in addition to underwater construction, demolition, and underwater bridge inspection, where I welded bat gates to protect endangered cave systems and endangered bats and cave ecosystems.
Wow.
And then
can you stop screen sharing? I think we're
yes.
better off to see you. Yes, go ahead.
So then fast forward to 2022, people were asking me about my twins, where will they go to school? And I honestly, being a homeschool dropout and being in survival mode pretty much my whole life, had not even considered that somehow. And everyone was telling me, well, you can't send them to public school. You have to send them to private school, this local private school, which is $575 per month, per child, which I can't afford. So I started researching education, and I was actually in a seminar with Stephen Kotler from the Flow Research Collective, a seminar on flow, or flow states, which is also known as being in the zone. And flow is supposed to increase productivity up to 500%. So during that seminar, Stephen Kotler mentioned Montessori education, how Fortune 500 companies will sometimes provide their employees children with Montessori education. So I wrote that down. I thought, well, what's Montessori? And then I looked it up later, found out there was about 500 Montessori schools in the United States. And I thought, well, why isn't that accessible to all children if it's so beneficial? So then I kept researching education, which I knew nothing about pretty much. And I learned of Forest School, Waldorf School, Reggio Emilia, Wild School, Unschooling, etc. And I thought, well, why should we have to choose between all these great forms of education? Why can't we take the best practices, the evidence-informed or evidence-based best practices from both traditional and holistic education, and further inform that with insights from neuroscience, psychology, mental health, mindfulness, nutrition, because, you know, nutrition plays a critical role in cognitive function, mood, and mental health. And if we look at what people are eating, especially children these days, you know, So anyway, I set out to combine the best practices from both traditional and holistic education and further inform the insights of the world. Because the way I see it, we've learned more about the brain in the last 20 years than we have the last 2000. And it's time our systems start reflecting that. And as I said earlier, to stand on the shoulders of giants. If you look at it, everything is cutting edge, from razors to vehicles to vacuum cleaners to tennis shoes, but education is still stuck where we were, 150 years ago. So I started this with the mission to make enriching education accessible to all students, regardless of geographic location or socioeconomic background. So it has evolved quite a lot. We had a goal for our pilot project, which involved our Educator Enhancement Program, which was the LMS, and community and family outreach, which was a second pillar, and the third was the open access online platform. Like I said, evolving education has been undergoing some changes, some structural changes, and we've had a bit of IP issues with the former member. So we're having to rethink it all, kind of redesign it. But like I said, still very fluid, still open to all kinds of feedback. But the main goal is just to make it where every child has access to enriching education, because I truly believe that education is a right.
That's right. That's right. I totally agree with you, and it should be free for all.
Absolutely. And enriching.
Well, definitely, of course, but you shouldn't have to pay for Montessori or any other to a private school, that could cost a lot. And well, of course, the rich shouldn't get it all. Everybody should get it.
Absolutely.
So Anna mentioned, because Montessori schools are very popular in Europe, by the way. I know in the States too now, because it did come from there. I believe it's 89. Oh, she lived to be 81 years old. She was born on August 31st. Oh, not far
she
from
was
me.
so ahead of her time, Maria.
Yeah, amazing, right?
And it still holds.
1870.
Yeah, and it's
Wow.
people are still amazed with it. I mean, it's with her
And it works. I know it works
pedagogy.
because
It does.
it works. It works. And that I know from teachers who taught in these schools, and of course from students as well. So why don't they just have this system everywhere? Why is it only
Absolutely.
to special, I don't know, only to those who can afford it? Yeah, I
Yep.
totally agree with you. But still, nonetheless, to pick up such a thing, but I guess you're used to picking up heavy things. So you're qualified. You've got an amazing background that probably has given you more than most of us to tackle anything. So that's
Thank
yeah.
you.
Oh, listen, Anna says that her granddaughter, she was, I thought, okay, in a Montessori kindergarten. Yeah, their kindergartens are also amazing. And I think they start at a very early age, right, Anna? I think you can unmute yourself as well and speak, since we've got time. Yeah, anybody can unmute.
Yeah, yes, this is really something very interesting, because the youngest granddaughter, she went to Montessori kindergarten, and she was really difficult child. So
Yeah.
everything changed after changing
Wow.
kindergarten to Montessori, and really she loved it, the place and the people. So I must say that it works for sure.
I love that. And I didn't know that. Follow the child as his leader. Well, which
That's
is
one of my favorite
true,
quotes.
yeah, that's how my kids are. I mean, they're, I follow them. That's true. I think most parents follow well, maybe not follow their kids. That's amazing.
Yeah,
And
incredible woman.
okay, Doris says, yeah, that's virtual reality and Second Life, that she's a time traveler. That's a nice way of saying it too.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Any other comments or questions that you have for Amber? comment. Feel free to unmute yourself. We'd love to hear. Is there a Montessori? Do they have these schools in South America? I'm wondering, Doris. Or is it just the North? I don't even. Yes, go ahead. Amber, or yes, you don't have to raise your hand. Did you raise your hand? We're not in school.
I wanted to share when I was doing the research and I found out about the Montessori school, or Montessori in general. I found out that there used to be a Montessori school where I live in Alabama, probably 20 years ago, and now the closest Montessori school is an hour and a half away, and it's
Wow.
$12,000 to $15,000 per child per semester.
Wow, why are they making money on this? You know,
It's just insane. I mean,
it's
and
uncalled
we
for.
wonder why people are struggling, and employers that I'm talking to, for instance, like some of the big organizations we're working with, some of their leaders, they tell me, you know, that they support us because how desperately it's needed. They see
Mm.
the graduates that come to them, and some of them may have high marks, but they're not able to function. They're, you know, no critical thinking, not even common sense, problem solving, don't show up on time, can't do anything without having their hands held, no agency. And so we need to bring agency back. And Montessori is very much, you know, it's student-led. I love the multi-age classroom as well, because that just taking my twins to the playground and seeing them play with younger children, older children, and how they flourish, as opposed to just sitting them down in a class with peers of the exact same age. You know, children learn at different rates. I see that with my twins all the time. And a lot of times in these classrooms, the children fall behind, either because some of them might not understand because the material might be ahead of their learning curve, or some might be bored because you know, they might be ahead of the material. So that, you know, if we could have more self-directed, differentiated instruction. I also believe in sort of overarching, integrated, you know, like let's say a child hates math but loves sailboats. You know, they can learn the area of the sail, the volume of all that. There's so
Yeah, well,
much.
that's